Wack said 100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI. The FBI went to the city 3 days in a row and told the city they didn't want nobody to give me no more money. They went to all the different celebrities and told all the different celebrities, don't give me no money, don't help me, don't do nothing for me. They going around scaring and intimidating everybody. But y'all sitting it around getting people in trouble. Like y'all don't understand what the FBI do to black men who try to help their community. I ain't been nothing but a help to our community. But I guess it is what it is. This the price of being black and trying to help somebody, trying to help your community and do what you can. You're just guilty because somebody else don't like it and then go on the internet and do what the f want to, and y'all gonna promote it. It's crazy. But I'm going to go turn myself in though. Cause I ain't did nothing. This fact is, man, they done went to my house, kicked my houses in, bust my doors down, bust my window. They calling my son at his football practice, threatening him. You know what I mean? These dudes tagging him. What kind of shit is this? But y'all gonna be rolling with these dudes. And I got this last thing to say. Wack said he was gonna destroy developing option, right? So who gonna replace developing option?
I had a conversation this morning about gangsters. Who's the gangsters? And they saying, and I said, well, the internet. They like, ain't no gangsters on the internet. I said, no. Y'all call people internet gangsters, so we gotta include them. And it's sad to say that the ones on the internet are getting more money than the gangsters on the streets. The ones on the internet got a louder and bigger voice and more reach than the gangsters on the streets. The ones on the internet are traveling the world with passports.
I got more steps in my passport than you. That's a fact.
I say that to say this, youth. The only people that want you in the streets are the older individuals that failed to find a way out of the street. If you are going to ignore or turn your back on anything and anybody, ignore and turn your back on anything in the streets that's trying to get you to follow in their footsteps. Now, you ask yourself, Wack, why do you say this? All right, cool. You looking at a dude, he ain't got no hands. He missing a leg. And he tells you, you ask him, hey man, how did you get like that? And he tells you, come on, let me show you. Do you want to follow him? You want to look up and you got an eye missing, and a leg missing, and an arm missing? No, you go the other way. Today, fewer young people are committing crimes and being arrested or entering prisons. See, we need to applaud that. This matters because youth offenses, this matters meaning the number of people that are in jail, have historically served as a primary input to the incarceration system, which means if they get you to go into jail at 12 like I did, there's a good chance when you get out, you'll come back at 13, 14, and then you'll get out and you'll come back at 16, 17, then you'll get out and you come back at 19, 20, and then by 22, you get a life sentence of 50 years, which contributes to the increase over the overall prison system. And this just isn't California. This is in the United States. The result is measurable. Since 2009, the U.S. prison population has been in steady decline. It is now on pace to drop to about 600,000 incarcerated individuals, according to updated projection from Keith Humphreys. Prior to that, it was 1.6 million. So we went from 1.6 million in 09 to 2025, 16 years later, to 600,000, which is a 65% type of drop. The long wave of crime and punishment that defined late 20th century America is breaking. A different statistical reality is now taking its place. All right, we need to applaud, and I repeat, our youth. Hey, it ain't perfect, but it's on the right track. Again, youth, listen to me. When you hear me say on par road, that's a part of me with who I am and where I come from, right? That's not the part you listen to. That's just a habit forming thing because that's where I come from, right? But when you hear me say I don't gangbang, and I haven't gangbanged for multiple decades, that's the part you listen to, right there. You listen to that part. Look, if it's a group of people over there and they hanging out and they dressed in colors and those people are getting the attention of others in that immediate circle, don't worry about it. Maybe that circle ain't for you. Like today is 4th of July. I can do it in my backyard. I can go to one of my artist homes. I can go to one of my buddies' yachts down in Newport Beach. I got different circles that if I want to attend or have the company of, I can go these places. Always keep your options open and close the doors to those options that will minimize you having options.
And I just want to say this to y'all. When they raided my houses and my property, it was actually about Wack. All y'all who be sending shit around the internet, all y'all who be promoting and listening to what these niggas saying, all y'all giving these likes and hidden likes, all y'all supporting this. All y'all guilty of this fuck shit. If you have something against a black man, you should handle it with a black man in the streets. Wack said 100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI.
I've been manipulative, slick, evasive, intelligent, silent, exciting, all my life. Whatever button I want to push. Y'all see the imprint? You see the wear on this? The wear? Been in my back pocket for a while. Thank you, appreciate it.
Guys, you want 2 more glasses of wine?
Don't tell nobody.
The FBI went to the city 3 days in a row and told the city they didn't want nobody to give me no more money. They went to all the different celebrities and told all the different celebrities, don't give me no money, don't help me, don't do nothing for me. They going around scaring and intimidating everybody. But y'all sending it around getting people in trouble. Like y'all don't understand what the FBI do to black men who try to help their community. I ain't been nothing but a help to our community. But I guess it is what it is. This the price of being black and trying to help somebody, trying to help your community and do what you can. You're just guilty because somebody else don't like you and they can go on the internet and do what the fuck they want to and y'all gonna promote it. It's crazy. But I'm going to go turn myself in though. Cause I ain't did nothing. The fact is, man, they done went to my house, kicked my houses in, bust my doors down, bust my windows. They calling my son at his football practice, threatening him. You know what I mean? These dudes tagging him. What kind of shit is this? But y'all gonna be rolling with these dudes. And I got this last thing to say. Wack said he was gonna destroy developing option, right? So who gonna replace developing option?
Now let's talk about options. Man, I'm sitting around, I ain't got nothing to do. I can't get a job. The economy is screwed. Go to the military. You 18. Bro, go to the military. I believe the little, first couple months you'll get through it. Think about it. It's women in the military. If that female could get through basic training, so can you, right? Go do you a 4-year stint, see the world, get paid. We fight wars different now. You get what I'm saying? Come out the military with all your credentials, with with medical benefits, and then if you want to go to the police academy or you want to continue to go to school, you can go to school while you're in the military.
Wack said he was gonna destroy developing option, right? So who gonna replace developing option? So remove me to get me out the way for somebody else to come in who gonna cooperate. That's what the play is.
I'm not telling you not to go into the nursing field or not to be a brain surgeon or have ambitions on being a doctor or a lawyer or a fireman. What I'm saying, if you're sitting around and you're 18 years old today, and when you step outside your doors, you played with dope dealing, killing, gang banging, prostitution in the streets, I'm telling you, give yourself a better option. Give yourself a better option. Give yourself a better option.
Wack said 100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI. Wack said he was gonna destroy developing option, right? So who gonna replace developing option?
Calvin, you said that's not an option. I don't know why. I've seen at least 10 to 12 youngsters through the military, and they're all home. Maybe 2 of them dropped out, but the majority of them are home. They're making 6 figures. They got their security clearances. They're working at Boeing. They're working here. Some of them into law enforcement, so on and so forth. Right? Unfortunately, us as black people, we don't have a lot of resources to say, hey, you just got out of high school, let me get you a job. We don't have that. A lot of us is still struggling to find a way ourselves. You get what I'm saying? We just don't have it. It's not there. So I'm saying buy yourself some time. Don't sit here on the street and next thing you know, you rolling the blunt. The next thing you know, you in the garage playing video games and one of your buddies say, man, we got this pill, some women coming by, man, we finna turn up, and you pop a pill and just your luck, your first time trying this, and I've seen this in my own neighborhood, this pill is laced with fentanyl. And next thing you know, you unalived yourself at the tender age of 18, 19, 17. No, weigh your options. Weigh your options. Weigh your options. Any man is telling you to do anything that he did that led him down the wrong path is the man that you want to get rid of. And you can learn something from this individual, right? Because you can always learn something from an idiot. How not to be an idiot. That's what you learn from an idiot. How not to be an idiot. Gang banging is very real. There's no future in gang banging. There's no retirement plan in gang banging. There's no uplifting of your family or your children. There's no real education in gang banging. Gang banging is there for people that made the wrong decision. Uh-oh. Is that what Wack means when he says he doesn't gang bang? Exactly. My first step is towards making the right decision. See, when you gang banging, you're restricted to the decisions that you can make. You have to make the decisions that's established by the gang bang. Whether you agree with them or not, whether you think it makes sense or not, you have to make the decision that the gang bang is stipulating. So this is why you always hear me say, hey, I'm from where I'm from. I can't rewind or erase that. I really grew up, went to school, played football, basketball, elementary, junior high school, went to jail, got my first tattoos, first squabbles, whatever you want to talk about in the good old city of Pacoima, California, home of some power rules. Hey, that's where I'm from. Is that where I'm at right now? Of course not. The moves I make right now, is it driven by gang banging? No. That's why I had no problem signing an artist who calls himself the famous Crip, right? I didn't discriminate against Blueface because he was a Crip. I looked at everybody's analytics, looked at what everybody was doing, and this individual file fit the description of somebody I felt could be successful, and I could be successful in business with. He just so happened to be a Crip. Now, was I going to look at him and say, all these things check out? But because he's a Crip, I'm not going to do the business with him. But these other profiles that ain't checking out because they bloods, I know it says you ain't going to be able to do nothing with it, and they not going to go as far as you could throw them. But because they bloods, that's who I'm going to do it with. No, that's the decision of a gangbanger. The decision of a man, which is something you have to be before you could be a respectable gangbanger, if that means something, right? You have to be a man. So I'm telling all the youth, listen, I'm not going to even say it should be your last option. I'm not going to even say it should be your last option.
And I got this last thing to say. Wack said he was going to destroy developing option, right?
Gang banging, robbing, stealing, drug dealing, drug using, killing, and gang banging should be no option. None whatsoever. There's too many things you can do. There's too many outlets. Trade school, the police academy, I believe at 19 to 20. I could be wrong. Again, you can Google this, right? They will let you into the police academy. This whole thing of telling our youth in the hood, if you the police, you's a bitch. If you's the police, you's a rat. Hey, listen, this is the way I see it. We all complain about being pulled over, and this white cop that don't come from where we come from is harassing, making us step out the car, doing things, unaliving us because they're abusing their authority because of who we are and who they are. Okay, well, the only way to get this right is to balance the books, right? And the only way to balance the books is if anybody telling you what you shouldn't do, if we put our people not giving you direction on what you should do, passenger seat, and if the should do, right, doesn't make sense way we can balance the books. But you can't do that if you constantly telling the youth what they bet not do or can't do or else. Gangbangers. I would love for my little homeboy or one of my homeboy's sons or nephews who I knew grew up writing them projects because that was just what they could afford. I would love to look up behind them twirling lights and he's getting out the car to come and question me. He's not going to be nervous and scared to deal with me. My mannerisms or the way I speak or the tattoos that may be on my face or visible on my neck is not going to intimidate him because he comes from that. He's not going to pull his gun out and tell me step out the car and start having all these preconceived thoughts about what I might be doing or could be doing, right? But again, this can only happen if we motivate our youth to go through these doors, to open up these doors. Super chat, Charles 2.0, appreciate you, right? Youth, first thing you got to do is tune out. Tune out the BS. Anybody telling you what you can't do, tune that out.
money, cars, clothes, hoes, sex, money, murder, drugs, Lamborghini, Rolls Royces, Bentleys, Rarries, it's your choice. PM, gang, drag, lies, cap, whore, slut, hood, rat, square, bear, renegade, real hoes down on that blade, pimps, max, players, hustlers, gangsters, killers, robbers, busters, snakes, weasels, rats, and snitches. These streets can get dark and vicious. Don't trust that bitch. AKs, max switch, silencer on the weapon, so you can't hear me when I'm stepping. Fights, battles, rage, war, concrete, steel doors, bunk cells, day room. You're down now, I'm searching you. Life in the penitentiary, they say it's gonna be alright. I be like, how it's gonna be alright when every day we fight? When we fight, I'm talking about every day we fight with a knife. When it come to politics, nigga, is who longer right? When it come to dirty politicking, yeah, that's not alright. But it happens all the time, so you gotta know how to move. Stay true to the game, and if you gotta bend the rules, make sure you bend them and you just don't break them. But they'll have you switch religions, now you assalamu alaikum. Crips, Bloods, essays, Serene, Southsiders, North Days, Bulldog, Woods and others, crooked cops, COs, free staff, bring the dough, teachers, nurses, volunteers, fly the drone and drop the package here. Inmate, convict, what's the difference? The convict commit crime in prison. The inmate, he don't want no trouble, but we all convicted. The game don't trust you. Vision, sight, what you see. Do you listen, hear me? Watch for the subtle